Team name this year changed from Bucks Tucky Racing to Stuart Racing. Ultimately, we landed on Stuart Racing, obviously my last name. So we changed the name this off season in preparation for 2023 to Stuart Racing. But the history of Bucks Tucky still lives on. I have some sponsors that sponsored Ray under the Bucks Tucky name that have jumped on and offered their sponsorship and support for myself under the Stuart Racing. Shout outs as far as individuals. Let's see. First and foremost, my wife will kick my butt if I don't make sure, so I'll get her done first. It's my wife, Kristen Stewart. Couldn't do this without her support. Like I had stated earlier, she's not a big fan of how much time and money I spend, but she picks up all of the extra slack as much as is placed on her to pick up that slack, and as far as with the kids and feeding the kids and taking care of stuff with the house. I couldn't do it without her support, first and foremost. Secondly, I gotta stated Ray is my crew chief, Jeffrey's father. Can't do this without his support and whatever aspect and quantity that he can give me. I'm eternally grateful to Ray. Like I said, it's more special to me to have Ray, not more than my wife, obviously, but in a different way, it's more special to me to have Ray's support as far with the car. Ray's a big, kind of modeled my racing style, not even really consciously, kind of subconsciously modeled how I drive my car. It's the same kind of style that Ray does. I did race tires, so I've always kind of had an idea how he drives, because the tires are where the car meets the track. So getting off topic, I shout out to Ray for all his support. I have some people that have jumped on to help this season. I have Cody Webster has offered his help on a part-time basis when he can to help at the track this year. Cody's a friend of mine that I met at the racetrack through racing. So, and also Mike Twist and Ella Parsons have offered their help this year at the track. So I'm eternally grateful for them to jump on for the 2023 season. I got a couple other names. Actually, I have the list of people helping right here. That way I don't forget anybody. Billy. How can I forget about Billy? Billy's not able to do a bunch of at the track help, but Billy has become my fabricator and my body man on the race car. Currently the race car in preparation for the 2023 season has taken place at Billy's house. He is the Allen's Automotive that you'll see on my car. He's a hell of a body man. He painted the car last year. He did the body work on it for the paint last year, and he's taking care of doing the body. Actually, he's probably working on it right now. And so Billy Allen is, as far as to kind of draw kind of a similarity to the Cup guys on the race on Sundays. He's the guy back at the shop. That if stuff goes bad, I really hate it for the guys back at the shop. Stuff goes right and really good, and I'm just glad to pull this home for the guys back at the shop. You know what I mean? So Billy has offered help as far as shop time and shop help, and I'm very, very, very grateful for his help this year. Dana McLaughlin. Dana is somebody I met actually through Ray's senior's brother. Actually, I ran into him at a parts store locally, and he recognized my face from the, at the time, Bucks Tucky Racing page, the now Stuart Racing page, and he's become a pretty good friend. He's helped me out whatever he can with whatever he can, and he's also offered some some help for the pit help this year at the track. So big thanks to Dana for all his help. Sponsors, I have a few confirmed. I have a few that are in the works, but we haven't finalized anything. But I have the list right here. One Stop Earthworks has returned this year for their second year on the team. It'll be their first full year, as Justin signed on last year about halfway through the season. He's signed on to come to be on the hood for this year. So One Stop Earthworks and Justin Saunders will be the primary sponsor for the 57 Slingshot. Allen's Automotive, as I mentioned earlier, Billy, my fab guy, my body guy, he's kind of taken on that role. He sponsors me in another way as far as help and time, and he doesn't ask much of me as far as returning money, as far as stuff out of his shop, fluids, welding gas, welding wire, or stuff like that, anything that has in his inventory. This will be his second year with the team. Last year he actually covered the cost for my driver and car registration. Allen's Automotive, based out of Leamington. Webster Service Center has jumped on board for their second season, and this will be their second, like I said, their second full season. Jason actually took care of doing the exhaust on the race car for last year when it was brand new. Nothing happened to it between last year and the off season, so we're continuing to use that exhaust system. But he did it at no cost to me, so he's been a very big help, very good supporter, as far as, and when I needed an exhaust bent up at the end of 2021 when I lost a piece on track, he actually did the same thing and bent up and got me a patch job on my exhaust with some pipe and got me ready for get out the last race at the Ridge. Allen's Photography, as I'm sure probably many of you seen the photo shoot from last summer, he's the photographer that took care of that. So good close personal friend of mine. We have stuff in the works tentatively for a calendar, whether or not it's a calendar of me or a calendar of other sexy race car drivers posing like I did. He's the photographer that I'm in the works with and making plans to do so, and get some pictures done of the race car for sponsorship cards and hero cards and type stuff. Pearson Heating and Cooling is probably the newest sponsor that has been confirmed for 2023. I believe this is Tony's third year with the team. He sponsored Ray, my crew chief, when he was racing the 24 Wildcat at Beach Ridge in 2019, and he did that for a full season. He might have even done more, but he was on last year for 2022, and he's signed on most recently for 2023. So that's Pearson Heating and Cooling. Mainly estate services. Another good friend of mine who was jumped on board. He's getting it's a newer business. Takes care of landscaping, spring, fall cleanups, lawn mowing, that type of stuff, that type of company. And he's based out of Hiram. Good friend of mine, Tyler, another friend of mine that's signed on, and I'm very glad to have him aboard. This will be his first year on the car officially, so big thanks to Tyler and Mainly Estate Services. K&F Truck and Trailer Repair, mobile repair type company. The K&F stands for Katie and Fred. Katie is actually who watches my son during the day while my wife and I are working, and Fred, her husband, is the one that does all the mechanic work for the company and the mobile mechanic work, and they have signed aboard for the 2023 season. Very good close personal friends of both me and my wife, and very, very glad to have them aboard. Foothills Flooring and Title is another sponsor for the 2023 season. This will be the second time with this race team. First with the Stuart Racing name, but the second time as far as being with the team. He was on the 24 Wildcat when it was Buck Stuckey, with Ray as our driver. So we're very, very glad and thankful to have Rick aboard. He's out of South Paris, and he was also me and my wife's wedding DJ, and is a close friend of my father-in-law. So big thanks to Rick Cummings and Foothills Flooring and Tile for signing aboard for the season.